Tableau interface. I'm gonna tell you all what you need to know in order to start with Tableau. Let's go. Alright guys, welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Baraz Alkini and I am IT architect. In this video, I'm gonna give you like a real quick overview of the interface, because whenever I first started with Tableau, it was kinda overwhelming or confusing not knowing all those functions in the interface. So I'm not gonna go in details and explain all of them. So instead of that, I'm gonna give like a general overview of the interface to make you guys like a little bit more comfortable with the Tableau. Tableau menu bar. At the very top of Tableau, you will see a lot of options that you're gonna need to create your visualization. If I start the file, it's standard stuff. You see it in each program. It's creating new file, open file, close, save. The important thing here is that you know that Tableau will not store drafts for your work. So make sure always to save your work. I've done these mistakes a lot. So always save. And the next one is the data. All those options are related to that data source. So if you want to get a new data for your visualization, or you want to replace an old one or edit it, so here you find the options for that. So the three next are worksheet, dashboard, and story. Those are the different options how you're gonna organize your visualization. So if I go to the worksheet, I will see options that are related to them, like show title or like show caption, summary. So currently I'm now in a worksheet called orders by date, and you see here I have the title of it. So if I want to hide the title, I will just go to the show title, click on it, and it disappears. So if I want to show it again, I go to the worksheet and click again show title, and here it is. So the next one is analysis. If you want to enhance your visualization to make it a little bit like professional, you need to add some stuff like, let's say, aggregation or some totals or like trends analysis. All those functions are prepared from Tableau and you can use them. So I like them and I recommend them to use it. The next one is map. If you are creating any map in your visualization, and here you will find all the options for it. It's amazing. So the next one is format. Format is very important one, because here you can format everything. You can format the text, the charts, everything, the lines, all the options are here. So you will be going here a lot. So the next option is server. And if you are using Tableau Public, you will not see this option. This one is only relevant for Tableau Desktop. And here you can log into the Tableau server or Tableau online. You can publish your workbook, you can publish your data source, and all those other stuff that to do with that server. So next is window and help. Those are the standard stuff in each application. So if I go to the help and click about Tableau, I can see which version I'm using now is Tableau Desktop 2020.3. So that's actually all about the menu. So underneath the menu, I have Tableau Toolbar. So basically it contains a lot of like small icons, and they are like the most used functions in Tableau. So for example, if I want to add a data to my dashboard, I just go and click on this small icon here. Then I can add the data instead of going to the menu, then to the data and click new data source. So it's give you like fast access to those functions. So we have options like Tableau icon. If I click on it, I am now on the starting page of Tableau. Click again, you are in the working sheet. Other functions like undo, redo, save, new data source. Let's try this one. It says swap row and columns. In the columns, I have the months. In the row, I have number of orders. If I click now on the swap, now it swaps both of them. So you see now in the columns, I have the number of orders, and the row I have months. Click again, it swaps them again. One thing about Tableau, if the option is now not relative for you, it will make it gray. So for example, if I want to sort the months, it will work. But if I take months away from my charts, you see here immediately Tableau makes it gray. That means this option is not relative for me, or there is nothing to sort here. So you need to be careful with that. So I just recommend you now to go through all those options in the toolbar and try it out so you get comfortable with that. In the data pane, the first thing that I'm gonna see is my data sources. And you see here I have only one called customers. Underneath that, I will see all the fields inside this data source. For example, the field name, city, country, all of them are fields inside the data source customers. Tableau try always to split my data into two types, the blue one and the green one. The blue one are stuff like category, product type, customer name, anything with text, it will consider it as dimension. And the green one is the metrics, and it's like stuff like the total number of customers, the total number of products, the total number of months. So anything that you can do some mathematical operations on it, it will be considered as a metric. One more thing that we can see in the data pane is the parameters. The parameters are like variables that could be used inside calculations. This is really nice and it gives our dashboards a lot of dynamic. I'm not gonna go now in details because I'm sure we're gonna use parameters in each dashboard we're gonna create later. Let's go now to the analytics pane. If I click over here, I will see some predefined analytics from Tableau. Most of them are really easy, you just need to drag and drop or to double click. So for example, if I want to show here the average of my orders, I just go to the average line, drag it, drop it, and that's it. I have now the average line. And we can try something else like the clustering, double click on it, and you see immediately that my data is clustered. For example, we have cluster 2, the orange one, and all those months are inside this cluster, or cluster 3, the red one, and all those months inside this cluster. So I just find now the average and the cluster. Some other functions you might notice that they are grayed out. It's exactly what I told you. If Tableau see that this is not relevant for your chart, he will gray out your option. So for example, here it says trend line, you need at least 2 measures. And what I have now in my chart is only 1. That's why it is grayed out. So what I recommend you guys is just go through all those analytics and try it out. It's very simple. So now let's move down to those tabs here. They start always with the data source. If I click on it, I will be moved to the data source page. I've created here 3 worksheets, and near them there is like shortcuts to create a new stuff, like create a new worksheet or new dashboard or new story. You can do the same if you go to the menu here by clicking on the worksheet, new dashboard, or new story. So they are here like shortcuts for you. You have more options if you right click on the worksheet, and you will see like I can do some copy, format, rename, standard stuff. But the most interesting one is copy formatting. For example, I am working now on this worksheet and I changed the font size, the font color, the font type, or any format, and I liked it. So now what I want to do, I want to copy this format for all other worksheets. So all I need to do is right click here, copy formatting, then go to the other sheets and apply this format by right clicking and paste formatting, or here as well. So that's it. Alright guys, so now let's move to the most important or interesting part of Tableau, and that is the cards. I will go now to another worksheet and I will show you guys those cards. It's for example the rows, columns, pages, filters, and marks. So now you can work with those cards by simply drag and drop. I will go now to the dataset and select one dimension to try it. I will take the country now and drag and drop in the rows. And you will see now the country represented as a rows. If you want to see it as a column, just drag and drop in the columns. And now you see the countries as columns. If I want to see the country as a filter, so drag drop in the filters card. Now Tableau asks me whether I want to use all values as a filter. I say yes, all of them. Okay. Now let's move the country to the marks, and I want to see it as color. So drag and drop in this box here, colors. And you see now the country is represented as color. So we have now one important card called the marks. And it might take like small size of the whole interface, but it contains many options that really control everything in your visualization. So it's kind of important that you understand the content of this card. Let's go through that. I'm going to show you guys now some options inside the marks. So I'm going to remove the country now and do swap. All right. So we have here now a drop-down menu. You can select here which charts you're going to use. So for example, now I'm using the bar chart. You can select line, you can select circles. So that depends on whatever charts you're going to use in your dashboard. So now beneath that, we will have like 5 small boxes, and that's going to control your chart. For example, if I drag and drop the category and the color is going to be changed. If I take like the metric inside the size, you will see here the size is changed as well. The higher value, the wider. And I can control as well the tooltip inside the bars. So if I click here and write some text like this is a tooltip. You click OK, and once you hover on the bar, you will see the tooltip that you wrote there. So the last thing that I'm going to show you guys in the interface is the Show Me card. If you go to the top right and click on it, you will find now different type of visualizations. So that really depends on the data you have in your worksheet. For example, in my worksheet, I have 1 dimension and 1 measure. And here Tableau give me some recommendations, for example, the bar chart or the tree map. So just click through them until you find the one that suits your data. As you might notice now that there is some charts that are deactivated or we cannot click on them. It's because simply that the data in our worksheet doesn't meet the requirements to show those charts. For example, if we click on the lines, Tableau says you should have 1 dimension as a date and 1 more measure. So I just recommend you to go through all those charts until you find the one that you need. Alright guys, so that was like a quick overview of the Tableau interface. There is many details that I didn't talk about it today because I'm gonna be covering those as we need, and so you guys are not overwhelmed with all those small details. If you want to learn more about Tableau or working with data, click on subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.